guys, and welcome to the Healeyverse creations, or welcome back. Today, I made a thing. Well, I made two things. And they're like the same thing, but they're different things. I made two very different glasses cases. Glasses cases? Yes. One is for reading glasses, and it's a present. Shh, don't tell. It's for my father-in-law. So first we're going to get into making them, and then I'm going to talk more about them. Start with this one. So to get started, all I needed to do was find some leather, cut it to size, and sew it together. Pretty simple, right? This one was made with the intention of my husband being able to have somewhere safe to put his sunglasses that wasn't his pocket, that wasn't tucked in his shirt, where he could just tuck them and they'd stay safe. It took some digging in the leather to find the pieces that were going to work. Now, I almost made it completely soft, but then Matt suggested I make the back a little bit more rigid to give it a bit more structure, protect the glasses just that much more. So the back piece is just a scooch stiffer, and it's just as soft on the inside, but the outside has a bit more rigidity to it. Because the front is this soft piece, I was able to make it curve out, which is good because the back piece was this wide to begin with, and I wasn't getting any more leather out of it. So to make the front piece curve to be able to fit bigger things, it was perfect. I also cut out a strap so it can hang fairly simply from a belt, but it can also bounce around. I considered doing it sideways mounted with two straps, but I wouldn't be able to orient the opening the way I did. Doing the strap the way I did allows it to bounce around and nothing falls out. So if he's hiking, playing with the kids, I think it might even still hold on if he did a cartwheel, so we might have to test that. Can you do a cartwheel?
Maybe. I'll give it a go.
Fair enough. So once I had the back strap attached, all that was left was sewing the front. Now the most fiddly bit of this was sewing the bottom of the front, because obviously the top layer of leather is a bit bigger than the bottom layer. So what I had to do is figure out how many holes were across the bottom layer, and then take the space left in the top layer and divide it by that many holes, basically. So I hand punched these holes myself so that when I was sewing, it would ruffle the leather together and it would line up nice and square, just like this. The only stitch I used on this was the saddle stitch or reverse running stitch, whatever you want to call it. It's where you go through with a running stitch and then turn around and go back, which is so much easier than doing like the traditional saddle stitch. Leatherworkers, come on, why aren't you all doing this? Hashtag reverse running stitch. Not only does Matt's sunglasses fit in this pretty snugly, I might add, which like you have to actually grab it by the bottom if you want them to slip out. At least this pair. Some are smaller, some are bigger. I'm not a sunglasses expert, okay? But his phone fits in it, and he can squeeze in a pair of sunglasses too. Did I make him a phone case? Kind of. Did I make him a sunglasses case? Kind of. It's a thing. I made a thing, okay? It's a Shh. It's a Swiss Army case. Also, because we're coming into spring and the peacocks where we live are being peacocks that want to mate in mating season, I'm going to do a counter. You won't hear all of them, but the peacocks will interrupt me. I'm going to put a tally at the end as how many times I had to stop, specifically because of peacocks. And now on to this one. This one I made green because my father-in-law likes green. Matt found this gorgeous piece that is ridiculously soft on the inside. Again, with this case, the main thing that I wanted was for it to be ridiculously soft on the inside so as not to damage the lenses. Because you don't want your glasses getting scratched up by the very thing that is supposed to protect them.
You have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
This one was a super simple design, and from the beginning I knew I wanted it to just have a little flap and a Sam Brown button. Spoiler, it has a little flap and a sand brown button. So, and then I knew I wanted to try my hand at the cross stitch. So once I had the fabric all cut out, I punched my holes, and I must say, I feel like I did a better job at keeping them straight because I used this compass or stand-in wing divider, whatever you want to call it, to give myself a little line to punch on. My punch lines are a lot straighter on the second one than on the first one. I'm learning. I'm growing. You know, it's fine. So I punched all my holes with the concept that I was going to fold the bottom flap up, sew that as one piece, continue sewing all the way around and then back. So you do a whip stitch, and then the way back it turns into a cross stitch. Basically the same thing as the reverse running stitch, except whip stitch. You get it. You understand. Only thing I ran into is it has a little bit of a warp. And so to combat that, I ended up taking some stitching out, which I didn't film, and then putting it back in, which I also didn't film because it's sewing. You didn't need to see it. Essentially, I had initially lined up my bottom corner with the top of where the triangular bit starts. And what I needed to do is shift that down 2 holes and then fold it over and sew it down. So I did that. When I finally finished sewing, then it was time to punch my hole. The reason I waited until after I was finished putting most of it together to punch my holes is because I wanted to make sure the sand brown button held the case as tightly closed as possible with the glasses inside. Something I couldn't do until it was actually together with the glasses inside, hence it being the last step. So all I did was I punched my top hole and then marked where the bottom hole needed to go, which I hand poked so that it's nice and snug around that sand brown button. I got my husband to help me screw it through because I was wrestling with it and I just couldn't get it. I also did a little slit just above the hole to help it go around the sand brown button and then lock in. And then once it was screwed on, bam, there it is. It's done. It should fit in my father-in-law's pouch that my husband made him last year for his birthday. We're really doing a lot of like leather work gifts. Who doesn't love a handmade gift? I used to knit and crochet all my gifts, and now I'm learning to leather work them. Okay, I really like the drinking horn holder I made, but other than that, I think this might be my best one yet. To say I've only done a couple of things. And I think that's pretty much it. More skilled leather workers, what would you have done? What could I have done better with this? Because there's very small glasses, and I only had a bit of leather to work with, which is one thing I think there are definitely some more fun things I can do. I say not just me, but me and Matt can both do with the interesting colored leather. He very nearly got a pink one because it was so soft. But I might do something else with that pink because I really like it. I might claim it for me. Because, like, it's just this soft pink. And not only is it a soft color, the inside of it is ridiculously soft. And it's like this. This is what it is. This is the kind of leather we are picking stuff from to work with, so do with that what you will. On that note, though, if you have any thoughts, comments, feedback, leave it in the comments. If you like the video, make sure you go down and hit like, subscribe if you haven't already so you can see everything we post, and turn on notifications so YouTube literally tells you when we've posted. It's like an annoying sibling being like, hey, did you know? Did you know this thing? And with that, I think it's time to see the peacock counter. This is how many times they interrupted me. They interrupted this! I think with that, I need to end this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next video. Who knows what that could be. Matt's laughing at me. No, he's laughing at the peacocks. No, he's laughing at me and the peacocks. Just go. Go subscribe, and then you can leave this video, please. Pure chaos.